Your life as an astronaut stranded on Mars. You check the oxygen gauge one more time. The number hasn't changed. It's not supposed to change this fast. Somewhere, back on Earth, people are still asleep. They don't know yet. You do the math again anyway. 4 hours ago, everything was fine. You were running soil samples outside the habitat. Routine. Boring, even. Then the storm hit. Not the movie kind, with wind that knocks you over. The real kind. Dust so fine it gets into everything. It coated your solar panels in minutes. By the time you got back inside, your suit was covered in a fine red film. You didn't think much of it. You should have. Because that dust didn't just block your panels. It got into the seal on the airlock. And you didn't notice until the pressure alarm went off. Here's what nobody tells you about being an astronaut. The danger isn't the launch. It's not the landing either. It's the thousand small systems that have to work, quietly, all at once, forever. One valve, one gasket, one seal no thicker than a shoelace. That's the difference between living and not. Right now, your habitat is losing air. Slowly. Slow enough that you have time, not slow enough that you have much of it. You pull up the ship's system readout. Oxygen reserve, 41 hours. Leak rate, increasing. Revised estimate, 19 hours. You stare at that second number for a long time. Mission control is 140 million miles away. Even at the speed of light, your message takes 14 minutes to reach them. Their reply takes 14 more. That's not a phone call. That's barely a conversation. You type out the problem as calmly as you can. Leak detected. Airlock seal integrity compromised. Estimate 19 hours reserve. You hit send. Then you wait. 14 minutes feels like nothing when you're bored. It feels like a decade when you're counting your own oxygen. While you wait, you do something to keep your hands busy. You go looking for the leak. Not because you think you'll fix it, though maybe you will. You go looking because sitting still with a countdown is worse than almost anything else you can imagine. You trace the seal with your fingers. There, a hairline crack, dusted red, almost invisible unless you know to look. It's small. Small enough that a rescue ship could patch it in an afternoon. Except there is no rescue ship. The nearest one is still on Earth. Still being built. Still 18 months from launch, even in the best-case timeline. Mission Control replies. 14 minutes of silence, then the message appears. They've run their own numbers. Their number is worse than yours. 17 hours, not 19. They tell you to seal the crack with the emergency patch kit. You already knew that. You do it anyway, because it's something to do with your hands. The patch holds, for now. But patch kits are built for punctures, not for seals that are failing from the inside out. You know, and they know, that this buys you hours, not days. This is the part nobody prepares you for in training. Not the leak, the math. You start doing arithmetic you never wanted to do. How much oxygen does a resting human body use per hour? How much less if you stop moving entirely? How much less again if you slow your own breathing on purpose? You realize you're negotiating with your own lungs. Not because you want to die slowly to save air, because slowing down is the only lever you have left to pull. Here's the curiosity loop nobody's answered yet. Why did the storm hit so suddenly when the forecast gave you 6 clear days? You pull up the old weather data, hands cold despite the suit. The satellite had flagged an anomaly 2 days earlier, a small one. Someone on Earth saw it and didn't send the alert because it fell 1 tick below the threshold for urgent. 1 tick. That's what got you here. Not bad luck. A decision made by someone you'll never meet, sitting in an office you've never seen. Mission Control sends a new message. They've found something. An old rover, 3 kilometers from your position, decommissioned years ago. Its oxygen tank is still partially pressurized. Enough, maybe, to matter. Enough to be worth the walk. 3 kilometers doesn't sound far. Not on Earth. But on Mars, in a suit, on a clock, it might as well be 30. You calculate the air cost of the walk itself. It's close. Too close to feel good about. but it's the only option that isn't just sitting and waiting. You go. Every step is deliberate, every breath rationed. The horizon here doesn't look like Earth's. It curves wrong. It's too close, too red, too quiet. You reach the rover with less time than you wanted and more than you feared. The tank reads, viable. You connect the line with hands that won't stop shaking, not from cold, but from the sheer relief of one thing finally going right. Air flows. Not much, but enough.